Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, we're making a Carnation Fairy Doll. I thought this would be a fun fairy doll tutorial for February. I love how these cute little carnation flowers work as a skirt. They kind of look lacy and ruffly, and this was just a really fun fairy doll to make for February. So let's grab some supplies and get started. Now the first thing you'll need is your basic fairy doll. And you can find my basic fairy doll tutorial will teach you how to take a wooden bead, a piece of floral wire, and some embroidery floss and twist it into this cute little doll. Now you'll also find on my YouTube channel a basic fairy doll supply video that I've done. In that, I go into more detail about where I purchased the different materials and the exact materials that are best for making a fairy doll. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel, and I'll put the links below in the comments. Then you will need some flowers. I'm always on the lookout for pretty flowers to use as fairy doll skirts, and I actually found these at IKEA. And I just loved how pretty these little carnations were and thought that they would be so fun to make a fluffy, almost lacy looking skirt. So once you've got your flowers, you want to find some embroidery floss that matches to dress your doll with. And I have a light pink and a darker pink embroidery floss. This is a little bit metallic. This embroidery floss is a little bit trickier to work with than just regular embroidery floss, but I love how it's a little bit shiny. Then you'll need some fun embellishments to decorate your doll with. And then I've got some iridescent sequins here that we'll be using to decorate our doll, my glue gun set on low, and a sharp pair of scissors. Okay, let's get started. So the first step is to create your doll. You'll want to check out that basic fairy doll tutorial. In that, I'll go through the step-by-step instructions in how to make this doll. And once you have her all twisted together, you will want to grab the embroidery floss that we're using for her clothing, and we're going to dress our doll. So go ahead, you'll put a small dab of glue right where her waist is and dress your doll. You'll also find more detailed instructions about how to dress your doll in my basic fairy doll tutorial. So you can see I'm just starting at the waist. I'm going to wrap up towards underneath her arms and then kind of create a little V-neck dress and then wrap back down and create a pair of shorts. Like I said, the metallic embroidery floss is a little bit trickier to work with because it's a little bit wiry and it doesn't lay flat quite as easily as your regular embroidery floss, but it turns out really pretty with that extra bit of shine. Then you're going to set her aside, go ahead and grab your flower petals, and you'll want to pull your flowers apart. One thing I like to do is make sure when I'm looking for flowers to dress my fairy dolls that I find flowers that don't have a lot of glue holding them together. Then you can kind of fold the flowers in half, hold them up to your doll, and see if you like how it looks. And then I'm going to take my flower petals and layer them together for her skirt. And I'm using about 6 or 7 petals here. I put the darker pink on the top, the lighter pink in the middle, and then the white on the bottom. And once I have them all arranged the way that I like them, I'm going to grab a couple petals at a time, line them up so you can see that hole right in the middle. And then I cut an X into the middle of my flower petals. I go through this a lot more slowly and with more detail in the basic fairy doll tutorial, but we're just going to do that with all of our flower petals. And once we have those all cut, I'm going to start with the top layers of her skirt, and I'm going to slide the flower petals up and around her waist in the order that I want them to go. So just up and around her waist. I love the ruffly bottom of these flowers. They just look frilly and lacy and give her a really fun, full-looking skirt. And once we have all of our flower petals in place, we're going to grab our glue gun and we are going to put small dabs of glue up by her waist, holding those flower petals in place. So just little dabs of glue. Work slowly and arrange the flower petals exactly where you'd like them to go so that they layer in a nice pattern, giving you a nice fluffy looking skirt. So we do that in the front and in the back. And then we're going to grab our sequin trim, and I love the iridescent sequin trim because it the iridescent part of it reflects the different colors in whatever you're decorating. And so it really made the different pinks pop. And so I'm just going to kind of place it around her waist where I'd like it to go. And then I grab my glue gun and just add a small dab of glue in the front, tacking it into place. And once I have that kind of where I want it, I can add another dab of glue on the back. You'll want to make sure with sequin trim that you glue it into place really well before you trim it, because if you don't have glue holding those ends down, the sequins can start to fall off of the trim. And so now we're going to style her hair. You'll find more detailed instructions on how to do a basic fairy doll hairstyle in my basic fairy doll tutorial. You just push the bead down, put a small dab of glue up at the top of her head where the floral wire meets the wooden bead, and then smooth as you go, working very slowly. This is the hardest part of fairy doll making and takes the longest, I think, and the most patience. So just work slowly and smooth the thread as you go. I'm just going to loop it up and around in the back, adding small dabs of glue to tack it into place. And once I have it smoothed, I'm going to style her hair in a low ponytail in the back. So I'm grabbing these two different flower embellishments, and I loved the green on this little pink flower. So I found some green embroidery floss that matched it, and I'm going to use that to secure her hair into a ponytail. I liked how the green contrasted with the pinks in her hair and just really made the pink pop. So I tie it in a knot and then flip your doll to the front to make sure that you like how her hair is in the front also. So I arrange it in the front and then flip her back to the back so that you're getting a nice even hairstyle in the front and in the back. And I'm going to tie that off in a double knot. And then I'm going to grab those two little embellishments and I'm going to add them right at the base of her ponytail. So a small dab of glue just to hold that in place. And once I've got that one in place, I take a look to make sure it's the way that I want it. And then I'm going to add that second little flower with another small dab of glue. And she has this cute little flower embellishment in her hair. Then I'm going to trim the ends of the green embroidery floss. And that's it, guys. You have this absolutely darling Carnation Fairy Doll. I love the pink hair. I love the different colors of pink and how fluffy and lacy this skirt looks. This doll was a lot of fun to make and I thought would be perfect for February. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please post those below. Please check out some of my other fairy doll tutorials on my YouTube channel. You'll also find other tutorials for how to make different things like bath bombs and soaps and all sorts of other fun creative projects. So make sure you check that out. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That would be amazing. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions, please post those below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support, and we'll see you guys next time.